These are 10 low-cost items worth buying now before rising fuel prices disrupt supply chains. Fuel prices do not stop at the gas station. They move straight into delivery trucks, warehouses, factories, and eventually into your supermarket bill. Once that begins, many familiar products quietly rise in price before most people notice. Do not wait until shelves start looking thin. That is always the most expensive time to buy. Today, I will show you 10 of the cheapest, most practical, and most worthwhile items to buy right now. And stay until the end, because the number one item is so inexpensive that many people ignore it. Yet it may protect a family budget better than almost anything else. 10. Laundry detergent/liquid detergent. A pile of dirty clothes can ruin a family's week faster than many people realize. School uniforms are unwashed. Work clothes are gone. Towels smell damp. Bed sheets are overdue for changing. When that happens, people no longer see detergent as an ordinary product. It becomes something that must be replaced immediately. And that is exactly why today's number 10 item is far stronger than it looks. Not glamorous, not exciting. But if it is missing, the rhythm of the household starts breaking down. One father in Texas once said he got off work late and came home to find the laundry detergent was gone. The next morning, his 2 children needed clean uniforms for school. He drove to 3 stores that night. The first store was out of the cheaper brand. The second had only small bottles at a higher price. The third had only a few premium bottles left. In the end, he bought the most expensive one because there was no other choice. It sounds like a small story, but that is how many families lose money. Not through luxury, but by being forced to buy urgently. Detergent is the kind of product people forget until the last minute. But dirty clothes do not wait for payday. Children do not skip school because the house ran out of detergent. Work does not pause because shirts are unwashed. This is not a convenience item. It is a recurring required expense. And anything repeatedly required holds real power over a household budget. When rising fuel prices disrupt supply chains, detergent is often hit earlier than many people expect. Because it is heavy. It is bulky. It takes space on trucks and in warehouses. From the manufacturing plant, to the distribution center, to the supermarket near your home, every step consumes fuel. When diesel rises, transportation costs move almost immediately. When deliveries slow down, stores rotate inventory more slowly, and eventually, the price tag changes. That is how simple it is. Current prices in the United States for larger sizes are often around $10 to $20, with premium lines costing more. But the real danger is not today's price. It is the extra few dollars you barely react to. If each purchase rises by $3 to $5, and your household buys it multiple times a year, the added cost can become hundreds of dollars without any single moment large enough to shock you. This is the most dangerous kind of inflation. Quiet, steady, and easy to ignore. The most common mistake is waiting until you are almost out before buying more. At that point, you lose all bargaining power. You must buy whatever is left at the current price. Smart shoppers buy before the need becomes urgent. If you see a strong sale, buy a reasonable extra amount. Prioritize concentrated liquid or powder forms because they are often cheaper per wash, easier to carry home, and last longer. The second mistake is overpouring. Many people think more detergent means cleaner clothes. In reality, using too much only empties the bottle faster and makes money disappear faster. The correct amount is the smart amount. People often think hard economic times begin at the bank or the gas station. Many times, they begin in your laundry room. If detergent rises another 30% next month, would you notice immediately or only realize it when your bank balance looks much smaller by year's end? Be honest in the comments. And if even a boring household item can quietly drain a family budget, then number 9 is something that once made millions of Americans panic within days. 9. Toilet paper. If there is one product that once made millions of ordinary people behave like they were in the middle of a crisis, it is toilet paper. Not because it is luxurious, not because it is rare, but because when it disappears from shelves, people immediately feel that the system has a problem. That is why during unstable periods, toilet paper often becomes an early warning signal. When rising fuel prices disrupt supply chains, this item can be affected faster than most people imagine. Think back to 2020. When COVID-19 spread, supermarkets across the United States saw toilet paper shelves cleared out in a short time. Costco, Walmart, Target, Kroger, and many others had to limit quantities per customer. People lined up early in the morning. In some places, arguments broke out in store aisles over the last few packs. The key point is that the world did not run out of paper. The problem was a sudden spike in demand, distribution systems that could not react fast enough, and crowd psychology. Only a few chaotic days were enough to create shortages. That is real evidence. Toilet paper is not as heavy as detergent, but it is extremely bulky. A truck full of toilet paper carries far less merchandise value than a truck full of canned food or electronics. That means when diesel rises, transportation cost per pack can increase more than people expect. Retailers usually respond in 3 ways: raise prices, reduce promotions, or allow temporary shelf gaps. Whichever method they choose, the final customer still absorbs the impact. Current prices in the United States for a large pack are often around $15 to $30, depending on brand and roll count. To save money, the real move is not panic buying. It is buying correctly before the need becomes urgent. If you see a good price, buy an extra 2 to 3 months of normal use, no more. That is a practical safety zone for most households. Do not buy random small packs one at a time. Compare by cost per roll or cost per 100 sheets, because many packs look cheaper while actually costing more. Second, prioritize brands you already know work for your household when they go on sale, instead of waiting until shelves are thin and being forced into a more expensive option. Third, if space is tight, remove outer packaging and stack rolls in a high cabinet, under a bed, or in a small storage area. You do not need a large house to prepare well. Fourth, use more intentionally. Many families reduce waste simply by keeping a reasonable amount in the bathroom, instead of leaving a huge stack beside the toilet. The real value of toilet paper is not the paper itself. It is normal life. When a basic item like this becomes disrupted, household stress rises quickly. That is why buying a little early is really buying peace of mind. Panicked people buy when shelves are empty. Smart people buy while everything is still full. 8. Coffee. One of the earliest signs of trouble does not always appear at the bank, on the stock market, or at the gas station. Sometimes it appears in your morning cup. That is the paradox of coffee. The product that helps millions of people wake up and start the day is often the same product that signals economic pressure moving closer to everyday life. When rising fuel prices disrupt supply chains, coffee usually does not wait. It reacts early. Think carefully about this. Before you open a bag of coffee in your kitchen, those beans have already traveled farther than many people realize. They may begin in Brazil, Colombia, Vietnam, or Honduras. From farms, the beans are harvested, cleaned, dried, bagged, moved to ports, loaded onto container ships, landed in the United States, stored in warehouses, sent to roasters, and then loaded onto trucks again for delivery to the supermarket near your home. A morning cup of coffee is really the result of a global transportation network. And when fuel rises, that network feels it first. Current prices in the United States for an everyday bag of coffee are often around $8 to $18, with premium options much higher. But the issue is not today's number. It is habit. People may rethink beef when prices rise. They may switch brands when toilet paper gets expensive. But with coffee, many people keep buying the same way because they do not want to begin the day feeling deprived. That is why this product can rise quietly over time. You still buy it. You just pay more every month. What makes coffee different is that it hits morale before it hits the budget. For many people, a morning without coffee is not only about missing caffeine. It is the feeling that the rhythm of life has been disrupted. A habit has been taken away. A small comfort disappears. And when small comforts start becoming expensive, people realize the economy has reached all the way into their kitchen. You can save money in practical ways. First, if you drink coffee daily, track price per ounce instead of just looking at the bag price. Some bags look cheaper but cost far more. Second, buy during sales and keep about 1 to 2 months of supply, not much longer because flavor matters. Third, if you buy coffee shops drinks often, replacing only a few days each week with home brewing can save hundreds of dollars a year. Fourth, try store brands. Many are better than people expect. Many people think they buy coffee only to wake up. Not exactly. They buy the stability of the morning. And when that stability starts getting expensive, it is a signal worth noticing. What about you? If coffee prices rise another 30% this year, would you keep buying the same way, switch brands, or brew at home more often? Be honest in the comments. And if a familiar morning habit can quietly climb in price, then number 7 is something so cheap many people ignore it until the day they need it more than ever. 7. Table salt. This may be the most historically important item on the entire list. Most people toss it into the cart without a second thought because it is cheap, always available, and overly familiar. But through much of human history, salt was never ordinary. It helped shape economies, opened trade routes across continents, enriched port cities, and influenced which places could survive long-term. There were times when controlling salt meant controlling power. Even the word salary traces back to Latin roots associated with salt. People long ago understood that some things are small, but if they disappear, entire systems begin to wobble. Today, many people forget that lesson because salt sits too quietly on the supermarket shelf. A container of salt in the United States often costs only around $1 to $5. That low price is exactly why people underestimate it. But when rising fuel prices disrupt supply chains, cheap, heavy, low-margin goods like salt often feel pressure early. A pallet of salt still needs trucks, warehouses, drivers, and fuel just like any other product. The difference is that profit margins are much thinner. That means even modest transportation increases can push retail prices higher quickly or cause promotions to disappear first. But price is only part of the story. Salt is not just seasoning. It turns rice, beans, potatoes, noodles, and inexpensive vegetables into meals people actually enjoy eating. It helps many recipes function correctly. It supports basic food preservation. During hard economic periods, when many families return to cooking at home to save money, salt becomes one of the highest value per dollar tools in the kitchen. A very small item that lifts the value of an entire meal. I once saw a very honest comment. We had plenty of stored food, but forgot to buy salt. After a few days, nobody wanted to eat. That is what many people do not understand. People do not only get tired from lacking food, they get tired from eating lifeless meals over and over again. The smart move is simple. Buy a larger bag when the price is good. Divide it into sealed, moisture-resistant containers and keep a 6 to 12-month supply. Low cost, low risk, high value. There is no need to chase expensive varieties for everyday use. Many people are paying extra for attractive packaging, not better salt. Long ago, people used salt to build empires. Today, many forget to buy it until the old container is nearly empty. History often rewards those who understand the value of ordinary things before the crowd does. Does your home currently have enough salt for a few months? Or do you still underestimate the item that once helped run entire civilizations? And if something once used like money is still being undervalued, then number 6 is a bottle costing only a few dollars that can stop money from quietly leaking out of your home every month. 6. White vinegar. There is a good chance that this month you paid for things you did not need. Not a new car, not travel. Just a few small bottles from the supermarket, kitchen cleaner, odor remover, lime scale remover, glass cleaner, special formula sprays. Each one looks cheap by itself, but added together, that is how a household budget gets slowly worn down. And here is the uncomfortable part. When rising fuel prices disrupt supply chains, every one of those bottles costs more, not only because of the liquid inside. You are paying for plastic, caps, labels, advertising, warehouse space, trucks, and transportation distance. In short, you are paying many times over for the same function. Meanwhile, one bottle of white vinegar priced around $2 to $5 often sits quietly on a lower shelf. No big advertising, no flashy packaging. Yet it can help with more jobs than many people realize. Cleaning common surfaces, reducing odors, handling light buildup, assisting with laundry, cooking, soaking foods, and basic appliance cleaning. One inexpensive item, many roles. In times of rising prices, that is a real advantage. Try a simple calculation. If each month you spend $4 to $8 on 3 separate products, when part of that function could be covered by white vinegar, over a year, the money lost is no longer small. People rarely become financially strained because of one large purchase. More often, they decline through repeated small leaks. A smart approach is simple. Keep one larger bottle in storage and refill a smaller bottle for daily use. Buy when it is on sale. Use it where it fits, without treating it like magic. And before picking up another miracle cleaner, ask yourself, am I buying function or am I buying advertising? Many households do not need to earn more money to feel less pressure. They simply need to stop letting money leak into meaningless places. Is there any item in your home that you once underestimated, then later realized was incredibly valuable? Leave it in the comments. And if one bottle of white vinegar can reverse the way many people spend money, then number 5 is much smaller, much cheaper, yet maybe one of the most useful items in the entire kitchen. 5. Baking soda. A small box costing only a few dollars can protect a family budget more than many expensive supermarket products. That is the truth about baking soda. It sits quietly on the shelf, gets little attention, is rarely discussed, and almost never creates urgency. But when money gets tight during rising prices, people quickly understand the value of inexpensive products that can do many jobs. Baking soda is exactly that kind of item. Small, simple, but dangerous to underestimate. One woman in Ohio once said that when her husband temporarily lost his job, she did not start cutting the budget with dramatic decisions. She began with the small things they bought repeatedly each month. She reduced specialty odor removers, separate cleaners for every room, special formula products, and returned to using baking soda for many basic household tasks. 6 months later, she said the biggest surprise was not the money saved. It was realizing how much they had been overpaying for things they never truly needed. That is how most families lose money, not through one reckless shopping trip, but through dozens of small products that seem harmless. Refrigerator deodorizers, shoe odor treatments, light cleaners, laundry boosters, baking helpers, and products made for only one narrow purpose. Each purchase feels painless. Repeated for a full year, it becomes something very different. Baking soda sits on the opposite side of that spending pattern. One box in the United States often costs only around $1 to $6, yet it can help with many jobs at once. Reducing odors in the refrigerator, assisting with light surface cleaning, handling odor in shoes, adding to laundry loads, using in cooking or baking. One small item, many tasks. When rising fuel prices disrupt supply chains, highly specialized products often carry extra packaging, transportation, and system costs. One multi-use item can help you buy fewer separate things, and that is the strongest part. When fuel rises, you are not only paying more for the product inside the box. You are paying more for factories, warehouses, trucks, plastic, labels, and every mile it travels. Each separate product in the shopping cart carries another layer of cost. If one small box can replace 3 or 4 other items, you are cutting inflation inside your own home. The common mistake is underestimating it because it is cheap. The least expensive products are often bought last, until the day prices rise or shelves start thinning out. Smart people understand differently. They know some low-price items carry extremely high value. A simple strategy: keep 1 or 2 boxes while prices are still stable. One for kitchen use, one for cleaning tasks. Store them in a dry place. And before buying another miracle formula bottle, ask yourself, am I buying function or am I buying advertising? Many people think fighting inflation means earning more money. Often it begins by stopping payment for things you never needed in the first place. If you had to cut 20% of household spending today, would you know which small items are quietly taking your money? Be honest in the comments. And if a box costing only a few dollars can already make people regret ignoring it, then number 4 is something you use every day, has quietly risen in price for years, and most people have never added up how much money it has taken from them. 4. Toothpaste. There is an item in your bathroom that costs only a few dollars. Yet if you add up what you have paid for it over many years, the total could surprise a lot of people. That item is toothpaste. Small, light, and so familiar it becomes almost invisible. No one talks about it when discussing inflation. No news segment is made because one tube went up in price. And that is exactly why it is the kind of product that takes money most effectively. Quietly, repeatedly, without attracting attention. When rising fuel prices disrupt supply chains, toothpaste is affected like everything else. Ingredients must be produced. The plastic tube must be manufactured. The cardboard box must be printed. The product must go into warehouses, onto trucks, into supermarkets, and onto shelves waiting for you to buy it. One small tube does not look like a supply chain, but it is the result of an entire supply chain. When fuel rises, cost moves into each tube little by little. Current prices in the United States are often around $2 to $6 for basic varieties, while specialized lines can cost more. One tube sounds insignificant, but many households use it year-round, buying tube after tube without ever calculating the total. Over several years, that money is no longer small. Large losses rarely disappear in one day. They leak through repeated small purchases like this, and this is where many people try to save the wrong way. They buy the cheapest option but use it inconsistently or neglect basic dental care altogether. Meanwhile, one visit to the dentist can equal the cost of toothpaste for a very long time. Smart people do not choose the cheapest. They choose the most effective. Do not look only at the price on the box. Look at the price per ounce. Many small tubes seem cheaper, but actually cost far more. Second tip: buy during sales and keep a 2 to 3 month supply. Third tip: multi-packs are often better value if the household uses them regularly. Fourth tip: if you do not need special features, a trusted basic version is often already enough. One tube today feels insignificant. But many years added together is a different story. The quiet things often take the most money. Have you ever calculated how much your household spends on toothpaste each year? Take a guess in the comments. And if something you use twice a day can quietly wear down the budget, then number 3 is an item older generations used normally, but many people today are paying far more to replace it. 3. Bar soap. Some things were once completely ordinary, until society found a way to sell you a more expensive version of the same thing. Bar soap is one of the clearest examples. Many people switched to body wash, hand gel, scented pump bottles, and premium care products, thinking they were upgrading life. But when rising fuel prices disrupt supply chains, many families start looking at this old-fashioned item differently. Simple, durable, and surprisingly economical. I once read a comment from an older woman who said, "I lived through many hard times. Every time money got tight, I went back to bar soap. It never betrayed me." That sounds like a very ordinary sentence, but it contains more truth than million-dollar advertising campaigns. Some products survive through generations not because they are glamorous, but because they truly work. A bar of soap in the United States often costs only around $1 to $3, sometimes even less in a larger pack. No batteries, no pump, no bulky plastic bottle, no excessive packaging. That means lower production cost, lower shipping cost, and fewer things you are paying for. When fuel prices rise, products that are heavier, loaded with plastic, and overly complicated tend to rise faster. Bar soap often faces less pressure because by nature it is compact, simple, and effective. What many people miss is that you usually control usage better with bar soap. A pump bottle feels convenient, but every extra squeeze sends money out faster than you think. Many families spend more simply by overusing a little bit every day. One bar of soap, used properly, can last surprisingly well. This is the kind of saving that makes no noise but keeps working, and there is another truth. When supply chains get messy, simple products often come back strongest, because consumers start asking a smarter question: am I paying for function or paying for packaging? When budgets get tight, that question changes shopping habits very quickly. The practical tips are simple. If a value pack goes on sale, buy enough for a few months. Use a draining soap dish so the bar does not turn mushy. Keep 1 or 2 extra bars stored in a cabinet. Low cost, almost no space used, but very valuable when needed. Many people are paying more just to buy extra water, extra plastic, and extra advertising. Sometimes the best solution is not the newer product. It is the older one that already passed the test of time. Do you still use bar soap? Or were you convinced that an expensive pump bottle was the real upgrade? Be honest in the comments. And if an old-fashioned item can help your budget breathe easier, then number 2 is so small many people overlook it. Yet it can save money faster than they realize. 2. Food storage zip bags. Many people think saving money means buying cheaper. In reality, a lot of money disappears because food goes bad. That is where food storage zip bags enter the picture. Not glamorous, not exciting, but during times of rising fuel costs and supply chain pressure, when groceries keep getting more expensive, protecting food can matter almost as much as buying food itself. Look at the real kitchen. Vegetables wilt and get thrown away. Leftover meat dries out in the fridge. Bread turns stale. Cheese absorbs odors. Leftovers sit uncovered, then get tossed. Each time may only be a few dollars, but over a month, it can become tens or even hundreds of dollars depending on the household. This is the kind of loss most people never track. A box of zip bags in the United States often costs around $3 to $10 depending on quantity and size. It sounds like an extra expense. But if it saves a few portions of food from the trash, it already paid for itself. That is why smart shoppers do not only look at purchase price, they look at money preserved. The real strength of zip bags is flexibility. Portion meat before freezing. Store vegetables, pack lunch, marinate food, keep snacks crisp, even organize small items while traveling. One small product, many useful jobs. Practical tips are simple. First, buy the size you use most instead of variety packs you barely touch. Second, write dates on the bag so food does not disappear into mystery mode. Third, for dry and clean items, reasonable reuse can stretch value further. During inflation, the trash can is where many families lose the most money without noticing. Smart people do not only chase sales, they prevent waste. And if one simple bag can quietly stop money from being thrown away, then number one is cheaper than almost everything on this list, yet may protect a family budget better than any flashy product. Does your household often throw food away because it was forgotten in the fridge? Be honest in the comments. And if one small bag can help keep money in the house, then number one can save you far more in costs and prevent waste many people never notice. 1. Notebook and pencil. The number one item on today's list is not food, not medicine, not batteries, not something people rush to buy when trouble starts. It is simply a notebook and a pencil, and that is exactly why it is stronger than almost everything else on this list. When rising fuel costs disrupt supply chains, the first thing many families lose is not objects, it is control. Real crises rarely arrive like in movies. They do not begin with one explosion and everyone running. They begin with small things repeated over time. Grocery prices changing every week, gas bills rising slowly, promotions disappearing, favorite products out of stock, money leaving the bank account faster, and you not fully understanding why. That is when many people panic, not because they have no money, but because they cannot clearly see what is happening. A small notebook and a few pencils in the United States often cost only around $1 to $5. But the real value is not the paper. It is the power to turn chaos into a plan. People who do not track things live by feelings. People who write things down live by their own household data. And in expensive times, the people living by data usually win. Imagine two families with the same income. The first buys by memory, forgets what is already in the fridge, sees a sale, and buys randomly, then reaches the end of the month wondering where the money went. The second family spends 5 minutes each week writing things down. Food spending, fuel spending, items rising in price, what is in the freezer, and what to buy only when discounted. After 6 months, the gap between them could be hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Not because they earn more, because they make better decisions. That is why many wealthy people do not dismiss note-taking. They understand a cold truth. Money rarely disappears in one dramatic shock. It leaks away through dozens of small mistakes that were never tracked. A cheap notebook can block many of those leaks. Why a pencil? Because it is simple, durable, needs no charging, depends on no app, gives no error message, and does not distract you with notifications. When a phone battery dies or the internet slows down, paper and pencil still work. Technology is powerful until it fails at the exact moment you need it. The method is simple. Keep one notebook called the family book. Write this week's gas price. Write 3 items getting more expensive. Write what food is already in the kitchen. Write bill due dates. Write this month's savings goal. Just a few lines each week can change the way you spend money. People often think preparedness means buying more stuff. Not exactly. Real preparedness means knowing what you have, what you are losing, and what the next move should be. If I looked at your last 30 days of spending, would I see a plan or chaos? Be honest in the comments. Because in expensive times, the people doing best are rarely the ones who bought the most. Usually, they are the ones who saw the clearest. No one knows which item will rise in price first next month. But when higher fuel costs disrupt supply chains, the people who wait until the last minute almost always pay the most. Today's video is not about fear. It is about getting ahead. You do not need to buy the whole list. Just choose a few items your family truly uses. Then buy gradually while prices are still normal, before tags change and shelves get thinner. Many people think financial security comes only from earning more money. Very often, it comes from buying at the right time and wasting less. Out of the 10 items today, which one would you buy first? Tell me in the comments below. The panicked buyer pays the high price. The calm buyer already purchased last month.